All right, so picture this. The year 2010, you and your buddy decided to go to opposing dealerships and get opposing cars. One of you picked out a 2010 Camaro SS. The other one picked out a 2010 three-valve Mustang GT. You line them up. You and your buddy go. Third honk. Beep, beep, beep. And you get absolutely dragged and dog-walked by a 5th-gen Camaro SS. And so, 2011, the greatest engine ever produced came along. Enter in the S197 5-liter Coyote.
One, two, three!
Alright, so behind me here is my 2013 S197 5-liter Coyote Mustang. Was originally a 6-speed MT82 car. Currently it's T56 swap with full bolt-ons and a Lund tune on it. And I can tell you, for what it is a very fun car to own. But going back to the history of what this car is and what makes it special. The S197 generation came out in 2005 with a 3-valve 4.6 liter that didn't make very much power. Made great noise, didn't make very much power. 2010ish, it got a refresh to a little bit more modernized body and interior. Still nothing crazy, still had the 4.6 liter 3-valve motor. Then in 2011, Ford decided to graciously give us the 5-liter Coyote, originally making 412 horsepower, and in 2013 and 14 bumped to 420 horsepower. These cars absolutely rip out of the box if you're not used to a higher horsepower platform. First time you get on one of these, you're gonna think it is a rocket ship. But I have learned very quickly that it just isn't. So in today's video, I'm doing a deep dive on if you should buy an S197 5-liter Coyote Mustang. Just going over the year and a half-ish I've owned my car and how much I've liked it so much, and if you should buy it, considering that it is 2024, and within the next few months, it's going to be hard to finance one of these cars if you're a broke boy like myself, because banks normally only give out about a 10-year auto loan unless you get a personal loan. So, today's video, I'm going over the pros and the cons, why you should and you shouldn't buy it out of personal experience. So, getting right into it, let's start off with the cons of the vehicle. This is 2024. Like I said, these cars came out in 2011. Over 10 years ago, which is crazy to me because these cars didn't age badly at all. They still look great. But the con to it is, at 412 horsepower or 420 horsepower, I have found out very quickly that almost any semi-modern 2015 plus automatic V8 muscle car pretty much walks you in a race. You're not very fast feeling compared to them. It is a fast car, don't get me wrong. But stock for stock, any modern V8 automatic and even manual, I will say Gen 3s and Gen 2s dog on these things pretty hard. Especially if you're not a great driver, the MT82 is kind of class. The 6R80s are great, but they don't outship the 10Rs. They're more strong in my opinion. They last a little bit longer, but they don't have the power and the shifting ability that the 10-speed does, like the Gen 3 S550s do. Another con that I have to say about the car is because of the age, most of the interiors are not in great shape. You have the panels of the doors falling off at you, the radio system's not working, speakers crackling, popping, all that kind of stuff, Bluetooth connectability issues, all across the board, issues like that. Luckily, my car is a premium 401A car, so it has the larger touchscreen, which not very many do, but it hasn't given me any issues. The car does only have 60,000 miles though, so, and it's a little newer at the end of the S197 generation. It's a 13, so it makes it a little bit more reliable in that aspect. But not totally home free, there is some glitches and issues there. The S550 definitely outshines in those two categories. Like I said, power-wise, out of the box, the S550 definitely is faster, as well as the interior of the S550 feels like you're driving a European car almost compared to this being your classic muscle car kind of feeling interior. One thing I will say moving into the pros of it is, this thing feels way more raw and way more aggressive than what you get in an S550. You can fight me over that. I believe these cars are way more of a driver car than what an S550 is, and that's why we hit crowds. Now, a few of the pros that I've already mentioned on the car. These cars came out in 2011, and I still think they look great. Might be my personal opinion, but a lot of people in the Mustang community will argue that the S197, especially the 13 and 14s, look amazing. A lot of people love them. Not very many people hate on them. They think they look good. Another con that I'm going to bring into that is the straight axle. Some people love it, some people hate it. I personally like it. It adds that rawness feeling, but it doesn't handle as well in the corners as what an IRS Mustang like an S550 does. Really and truly, the S550 Mustang is your better all-around daily driver and driving back and forth to work and still being able to hit some twisties and go down the drag strip. There's a lot of fast straight line S197s and a lot of corner S197s, but there is a lot of fast S550s that run in the same aspects as the S197 does. Alright, so I'm going to stop comparing apples to apples, the S197 versus the S550. Let's get into the broad spectrum of things. Say you're not a Mustang guy, but you're looking at these because of the power and the price range. Great price range on these currently. We're going to go into the general thing of the car community. The S197 is a very loved and adored version of the Mustang. The S550 gets a lot of hate because of the modernness of it, but the S197 is loved by all communities for the most part from what I've seen. So you're going to get a lot of love all around. There is nothing special about a 5-liter Coyote Mustang for the most part. Honestly, when I bought this car, I figured it would get a lot of attention, even because it has rare paint. The only time I get that really is from older people or true car enthusiasts. You're not going to get a lot of attention off of these cars unless you're boosted or very loud and obnoxious, which I don't recommend doing. I currently am like that, and sometimes it's very annoying. But as the car sits, as a driver's car, it is a great car to drive. If you're coming in off of something like I did with a Honda Accord and hopping into something like this, for a good 4 or 5 months, it's probably going to keep you very happy with the stock power level. It's very fast, it does what it needs to do, and it could kill you at any second if you're a bad driver. Comparing it to other cars in the price range, say 370Zs, some BRZs, some cheaper versions of the S550s you can get for around the rough same price range if you buy a really nice S197, just other cars around. I believe truly that it is the best bang for your buck. You can do a lot with this chassis without having to spend a ton of money. Really and truly with the T56 and the bolt-ons and everything, you're still sub $10,000 in modifications total to the car for what it is. And it is just as fast, if not faster, than Scat Packs in a drag race. It runs around corners just as fast as modern S550s do with just lowering springs and a good driver setup and a panhard. So overall, it can do a lot of things that other cars can't. Now, if you're looking for other setups like drifting or other things you want to do, more kind of nimbleness to a car, look away from the S197. It does kind of have flaws there. It is a little heavier. Mine weighs around 3,600 pounds on a scale with full weight in it, so it isn't on the light end of things. I would maybe look at maybe an S95 or a New Edge. They're a little bit lighter, a little less power, and they actually seem to be a little bit easier to maneuver around. So my overview of this video: should you buy an S197 5-liter Mustang? Absolutely. If it is what you're going for, go for it. It is absolutely worth it. These cars are pretty reliable. No real major issues or concerns so far that I have seen out of the entirety of the generation. Knock on fender. There are a few things though, like the water pumps are notorious for failing on these motors, as well as the Coyote tick, and then if you get a manual transmission car, the MT82s are kind of weak. I did break mine. That's noticeable. Other than that though, these cars are great. They do what they need to do, and they do it very, very well. They make you smile at times when you're not happy, and they make you realize very quickly that it can't kill you in times when you think you own the car. The price range that I would try to buy one of these at is the $15,000 to $25,000 range. $25,000 if it's a very, very clean, probably somewhat modified example. Maybe if it's boosted, go over to $30,000 range. These cars to me no longer are worth the $30,000 to $35,000 price tag that they carry in certain occasions and specialty trims. The only ones that I would expect paying that much money for are GT500s and Boss 302s. Maybe some of your Stage 3 Roushes. Not a whole lot going on there though for that price range. But if you want a fun car that you can kind of thrash on, it'll take it and it'll have fun and you can have fun and it'll be very reliable. I think you should get an S197 Mustang. But like I said, if you're a broke boy like me, you need to go ahead and hop on the train. Go ahead and go to a local car dealership, swipe that debit card, give me your social security number, and get that hoe financed, because it's not going to be very long before they tell you no. And they might tell you no anyways because you're 21 and you tried to buy a car that can kill you. That was rough on me. But anyways, guys, that's going to be pretty much it for today's video. If you like the S197 and you want to see the build so far on it, go ahead and click a subscribe. Go back in the channel. I'll tag the playlist down below in the description. Don't mind liking this video and just following for more. This thing's getting ready to get boosted, so I don't see why you shouldn't subscribe. But anyways, guys, y'all have a great rest of y'all's day. I hope y'all have a good one. Peace out, and I'll see you next time.